Welcome friends, this is Francis Kakuru doing Avisec at Space Tech Aviation College, uh, pursuing a degree in a diploma in Avisec. I'm sorry. You will take you through the IATA Avisec book, which is having 9 modules, and in this module, in 9 modules, you have to do 9 papers. Each module is a paper. For the inconvenience process, today my will just give you a hint and give you the possible questions that they can ask uh, in this in module. I will begin with module 1, which is threats to civil aviation. That is the module 1. Of course, the first question they will ask you, what is the name of module 1? The name of module 1, I will give it to you, it is threats to civil aviation. Then number 2, they can say give the objectives of this module. Question is 3, they can say outline 7 points showing what civil aviation has been marked by. Then another question they can say that give 5 other developments adding popularity to civil aviation. Then another question they can say that define the following. The following are, they will ask you what is aviation security. They will ask you the threats, what is threat, what is hijacking, what is sabotage, and what is subtenure. Another question they can ask you, it is mention 7 possible reasons why civil aviation is an attractive or attracting target. Attractive target. That is the question. Mention 7 possible reasons why civil aviation is an attractive target. Another question they can say, outline 8 groups who may pose a risk to aviation. 8 groups that can pose a risk to aviation. Another question they can ask you is, threats to civil aviation fall into 2 broad categories. Mention and find the 2 categories of threats, that is direct and indirect threats. Those are the 2 categories. Then they will ask you, give 5 examples of each category. In indirect threats, we find sabotage, seizure of hostage, we find hijacking, suicide bombers, explosive detector systems, that is EDS, as many as possible. Then in indirect, we find employees, we find the refugees, we find as many as possible. Then they will say, with a brief explanation, mention 8 methods used by terrorists against civil aviation attacks. That is a good question. With a brief explanation, mention 8 methods used by terrorists against civil aviation attacks. Then number 6, they can say that indicate whether each of the following statement is true or false. We have threats can be direct or indirect. It is true. That one is true. Hijacks and sabotage are indirect threats. That is false. Sabotage and hijacks, they are direct threats. Then suicide attacks can be vehicular or human. Vehicular or human. One of the motives for terrorists is to change government or international policy. True. It is their motive. The threat's motive is to change the government or international policy. Then employees are not a source of threats. For us, employees are also a source of threats because we find them in indirect threats. Then manpowers and sabotage methods have been used in the past. True. True. The entry, we can say threats to civil aviation can be categorized as terrorism and crime. True. They can be categorized as terrorism and crime. Then the entry of the Airbus 380 aircraft has had no impact on its popularity to terrorist force. Then the first hijack The first known hijack of an aircraft took place in Peru. It is true. The first hijack took place in Peru. It took place in Peru. Then with more than one page account for 21st December 1988 bombing. That 21st December 1980 bombing, it killed 259 passengers on spot. Then write an essay on the most fatal attack, that is 11th September 2001, in the history of aviation. Thank you, friends, for listening. If you follow me, you are going to achieve whatever you want.